be on the lookout for Kamikaze. He went absolutely nuclear early on today, just doing the most work on smoke.
All right, and as you guys can see, it is going to be here on Border, and then we'll be jumping into our next map for. Let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be jumping into this match in just a second here, and we'll be able to get to you guys the in-game bans in just a second, as soon as we have our game ready to rock and roll, which it looks like we've got it ready to go right now. In fact, we missed the ban, so we've already got that going, and it looks like we have Thermite, Capital, Mira, and Echo are the operators that were knocked out in the ban phase.
Yeah, pretty standard speaking, especially with Capital and how strong he is right now. The M249 is so very dangerous, and his utility after that buff, oh my gosh, it's insane.
All right, guys, well, here we go into our very first round, so let's dive into it. Let's take a look at what exactly we're going to be seeing between these teams now as we get into the opening round. Looks at things as well. We're going to be having NIP starting out on defense. Their opponents, Secret, are going to be on the attack. As we would expect, of course, with it being Border, we're going to go right to Armory.
Well, we are going to have kind of a unique setup from Ninjas and Pyjamas inside of Mini, a small office, which is that little rail off of the A site. Instead of reinforcing the hatch and playing close to the wall, which is traditionally done by a smoke so that he can throw his toxic babes against the wall, and they kind of breach through the wall by themselves and are able to get some of that toxic gas on the other side and do damage. This time around, they're actually going to pop the hatch so they can rotate late if they want to, and they're going to put a shield in front of it so someone can play back by the door safely. Going to assume there's going to be some ADSs there to assist that as well.
Members of Secret, let's take a look at their push. As we would generally expect, they're probably going to move in from the south side first and slowly start their swing through the upstairs by trying to get CCTV control. And then moving from CCTV, they'll be able to take the west balcony towards the main wall, where most teams will start their primary push from there. It's being droned out now by the members of Secret. They start to work their way towards it. Meanwhile, the setup from NIP, we've got Kamikaze's going to go rotating out a little bit here. Julio also looking to try to get into a fight downstairs in the bathroom if it presents itself. It looks like he did take a fight with someone from Team Secret over by one of the main doorways, but he's had to back up pretty quickly after losing about a third of his HP.
Yeah, Team Secret still seems to be on pace here. So going to use one of those breaching charges to get open the wall, as Leon's actually going to catch one of his air jabs on the reinforcement here. So he's got 2 air jabs on the same area of break room, so not going to help him out too much. But Ninjas Pyjamas are playing the role with Julio downstairs, so we'll see if he can try and find any explosive plays, but starting things off will be the Limbs, as he's going to take down Muzi, rotating across Beavers.
Good start for the Limbs in the right for Secret here. So obviously CCTV control going their way without too much resistance onto that. Also, the Havana hole already opening up part of the west wall here leaves them with a pretty good amount of progress, still with a minute and a half left to go in the round. We still have a few players to clear out downstairs, but as long as they focus entirely on an upstairs push, it's not going to be too much of an issue besides the potential Nitro assault from down below, which actually might be in the cards here for the next couple of seconds. You can see Julio getting into position to try and toss one up, but not sure how well the angle's going to work out with the current destruction on that sidewall.
Going to get very aggressive here as Secret's just going to full send, takes out the man at half wall. Pino will finally find a kill. He finds 2, still 1 locked down inside of half wall, and not very many bullets left for Pino, but it's not going to matter. Farrell will be able to finally find him and start putting this diffuser down. It's only Julio left. He's going to be able to take down the man at Sandwich. He finds a man over in Archives, but Farrell, the very last second, pulls Team Secret out.
Almost incredible clutch there, seeing at the end from Julio, just falling a little bit short, unfortunately, due to the 2-man setup that we had. You could see Crossfire was going to be very difficult to trade both of those out at the same time, and as such, he does end up falling. And the first round of the map ends up going over towards Team Secret on the attack. Now we'll see again, more than likely a repeat here into Armory from NIP, but it wouldn't be too far out of the cards if they decided to abandon this and go downstairs. But given how close the round was, it's looking like they're going to decide to stick with it instead and try the Armory one more time.
Team Secret's been doing very well on these initial picks early on, especially with Limbs trying to get that pick over through the wall of the balcony, catching that man rotating from half wall over towards Mini, but eventually everything's going to lie on Pino where he gets taken out. It's going to all fall down to Julio, which isn't able to win the round, but the big picture thing is here that Team Secret's pacing so very quick. I mean, they get that initial pick, and after that, 30 seconds after that, they're already focused down on site.
Best way to describe it, they know what they have to do, and they know how to do it. That's the most important thing. They also didn't seem to get tripped up too badly if they lose a player or two in the process. That a lot of teams, I think, suffer from, where they kind of fail to evolve the strategy with what's happening in the actual round. So it doesn't seem like Secret has too much of an issue with that, and I don't think Seattle can build upon that. Again, looking to kind of re-secure their own legacy after a relatively lackluster Pro League season, minus a few surprising upsets they got in the early season against G2 and I believe one or two other teams as well they were able to take wins against. Besides that, they've still had a few months of struggle here. Now out of Pro League, but still, maybe they can impress with performance this weekend. To steal a ticket from Raleigh away from one of these other teams that are looking to get it.
This game is definitely going to be very exciting. Both of these teams look so good so far on the LAN. Currently playing right here in Las Vegas, so we'll see if that continues to show here as Leon's staring down one of those evil eyes that's currently sitting over on the shelf, staring out towards the balcony, just trying to get that free information, because again, they have to use an explosive to try and get rid of it. Only man that can get rid of it is going to be Fonkers, unless they want to waste an EMP to open up that crack that they can shoot through and destroy the camera, but it doesn't seem like that's going to be the choice just yet. Pharaoh, though, will eventually find Psycho, as he will go down first.
You know, actually going to give himself a lineup there through the in the west wall, but it's not going to end up working out too well. The rest of the team moves in through backstairs now. Pharaoh specifically still having to clear out downstairs. There was a good amount of roaming presence from NIP in the last round, and it almost actually messed them up in the late game there. Leo was the one wielding it. But we're not going to see that this time, as we do see Psycho getting knocked out, bringing us into a 4v4.
They have full rotate setup on the backside of Fountain so they can possibly rotate into CCTV if Team Secret is not watching carefully right now. Pretty delayed here for Team Secret. Last time around they were pretty quick with their execute, but this time trying to play for more of that information game. But Julio's going to be on top of that as limbs will go down and Muzi will follow it up and Julio's going to tack on once again. It's all left up to Fonkers. Kamikaze's down, but that's nothing for Pino, as he will eventually find the kill, and Nip will find their very first round here on Armory.
Good stuff from Nip, finally able to close out on Armory there. A quick adjustment from the previous round. Stops for execute from Secret. And now is going to be able to start shifting an IP around the map a little bit more here.
Team Secret just got too spread out there and just didn't have anybody to back them up on their gunfights, and Nip capitalized on that. I was actually talking to one of the Darkest Zero members earlier today. I was talking to Hot and Cold, and he said playing against Nip, they do not lose gunfights. Like this LAN specifically, every single gunfight that they were trying to take against Nip, they were getting punished for every single peak. So I expect that to continue.
All right, well, let's see if that is indeed going to be the case for these teams now. Let's work our way through it.
Camera feed up and
moving
running.
over towards Workshop for the second site. This again follows that usual trend, so we're still going to see a good amount of presence established by NIP upstairs inside of the Armory itself due to the soft destruction on the floor up here. If you give that over to your attackers just free at the beginning of the round, you're going to have a really bad time trying to hold on to Workshop. They'll basically get free vision above you. It's not very easy to punish that back if you're downstairs. The team still have to be careful and still have to work actively to hold both the upstairs and downstairs parts of the site.
Yeah, Julio was trying to find a drone down there or something, but ended up slipping away from him, but not going to mean anything just yet. I mean, they do have a mute on deck with Aussie, so they're trying to deny as much information as possible, recognizing how Team Secret has done a pretty good job of that so far today on their information game, and they've been capitalizing on it so well, and I'm expecting that Nip is going to try and counteract that.
See on that. Just a second here, everything comes to blows. Muzi, after not running into too much resistance early on here, the push is going to throw down one of the shock wires. The right wall here still hasn't done the second one just yet. I think he's going to wait for the opportunity to present itself. As of course he's got plenty of support available up here too, should the need arise, so he doesn't have to worry about someone trying to push their way through the door. Besides this, Secret not making any moves just yet, still keeping it nice and passive. Trying to play into this droning phase a little bit more.
Yeah, but you do have to be afraid if Team Secret does get that initial pick, excuse me. Seems like when they do get that, it's blood in the water and they're able to just overrun the site pretty handedly. And Ninjas and Pyjamas trying to keep things slow and steady as Team Secret's trying their damnedest to find that initial pick. And they're just going to set up the bottom angle to look inside of Server here, as he's going to be able to cut off the cross to rotate over into Vents. But Psycho will start things off for us here on round number 3, as Leon will be the first one to fall. Plant's actually going down. I don't even know if they know that Feral is still getting the diffuser down. It's actually going to be in the back by the lamp in Workshop, and it's going to work out for them. Limbs is going to walk away with a kill as well. Julio upstairs will go down.
And IP now possibly overcommitting to the upstairs. Have to look for a way to retake this with relative ease, but right now it's not happening. Every rotate is getting punished. Muzi finally changing up the luck for NIP a little bit, is able to restrict Meepy, who is doing a lot of the damage on these rotates. But again, another pickup for Secret, and another one on top of that with Fonkers. Being able to knock out Muzi makes this a successful round. It's not too much trouble to find the last kill against Kamikaze, and there you go. The surprise plant from Secret seals the deal on their second round.
They had all of those signal jammers, mostly upstairs, a couple, or at least one downstairs that we saw, but that was not enough for Team Secret, where they were able to get their drones inside of sight. See that it was a barren wasteland inside of sight. There's nobody playing it. Why don't we just walk in and get this diffuser down around this very annoying lamp that no one can see through, that we got rid of in the next update for reasons. So, Team Secret walks in, gets that bomb down, just very heads-up play with information. That's what we talked about with them all day. They've just been so quick on information that big capitalization here from Team Secret on the information game once again. And expect Ninjas and Pyjamas to try and do something about that. As we said earlier, they were trying to bring the mute to try and get rid of some of these drones. Drone economy is a big thing on offense. Nip trying to pull away from that just a little bit, but found a couple gaps there, did Team Secret.
Secret, of course, are going to have to continue to try and evolve this. They'll more than likely be attempting the same site once again. And IP, of course, it's time to pat down those hatches and make sure the same error is not made. Overcommitment to the upstairs leaves their actual site relatively vulnerable. And Secret, thankfully due to just some quick soft destruction, we're able to get relatively easy access into it. Steal a plan away, along with a round with it, due to NIP's just general unawareness of the situation that was unfolding down below them.
Well, more than likely, that's not going to happen twice. So Team Secret's going to have an answer for their upstairs hold here. Nip's probably going to dedicate more bodies downstairs, because that's what anyone would really do in that kind of scenario. But it appears that there is going to be no slowing down here from Team Secret, as Leon is walking in like he owns the place right now with Nomad.
This is a very forward play. Obviously, it's on Nomad, so he's got a little bit of comfort in being able to do this, and that he can secure himself, not have to worry about watching his own flank or anything like that. Also, the air jabs do that job for him. But on the initial push, Secret, it's not going too well. Kamikaze and now Julio able to pick up 2 kills along with the third that was found originally. But Trade is nearly going to be found with the drop of Kamikaze. Of course, they don't find the final kill just yet. But Muzi now would move in and punish the attempt to confirm the kill by taking out Feral.
It's always a fun time when you're laying out by a truck and you watch all of your teammates die in the kill feed as you're trying to hold that angle. So it's going to be up to Meepy in a 1 versus 4 as Kamikaze is down. He is in a pretty safe place right now, but I don't think anybody's going to dedicate themselves just yet to go pick him up. Still plenty of time left on the clock. Meepy could find an answer here. Once again, with 1 minute and 50 seconds, plenty of time to try and get a drone in, try and get some information up, but doesn't matter. Julio gonna put Meepy down, and that's gonna be another round here for Ninjas and Pyjamas.
So 2 very kind of back and forth rounds when you look at the overall way it was played out. Definitive win from the guys on Secret, followed by a definitive win upstairs from NIP on the defense. And the same thing just happened to Workshop just a second time around there, with Secret surprising on plan on the first round, and NIP shutting down the attempt to do it a second time, as it would appear when Secret tried to force themselves inside the server again.
All right, we will be heading back up to Armory Lockers, as that has just freshly opened up. They went to Vents twice, so heading back upstairs, and so far it seems that Nip is able to get all of their sites on the second try. So let's see if they can string something together to try and break this mold.
Falling off of that again, the operator lineups, things remaining relatively the same. Obviously, any change to the site that needs to be made will be made by the attackers. It's not like too much has been altered.
Yeah, specifically enough. I mean, Fonkers has been on this Buck for most of the offense, if not all of the rounds. And the thing about that is Buck is actually kind of a regular fan now here on Mortar, which is how much destructibility he can cause. And it causes a lot of chaos, especially on this side in particular. I mean, you can just walk downstairs if they have Workshop control and make it very, very hard for these anchors to find any safe haven.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Mortar 1, I think it is one of the most heavily reliant on soft destruction out of the entire competitive pool of maps in the game right now. So it makes sense that you see Buck being a pretty prevalent choice to be able to work that, especially for the downstairs sites too, as you have the synergy between Armory and workshop them being right on top of each other, and obviously the soft destruction that generally plays into that, being the most prevalent anyway.
All right, well, we did have a bulletproof camera put up inside of CCTV, which is a little peculiar, just due to the fact that you just walk up and knife it. I don't really know why they would dedicate that right there, unless they're trying to play for pre-fires off of the soft wall next to it, but we didn't see exactly that reinforcement there or not. So that could be what they're trying to do with that bulletproof camera inside of the break room area. Secondly, they do have one of their Evil Eyes dedicated up inside of 90, facing down towards east stairs. So trying to get some information on that, but again, you have Meepy, you also have Fonkers, explosives, EMPs, not Evil Eye's best friend.
So this players from Secret working their way up. Still early days, of course, so not anything groundbreaking having happened just yet. They're still just trying to mainly get their drone work done and figure out what the setup's looking like for NIP, see if anything's shifted from the last time we played onto this site. It's not looking like too much has changed in that respect. It's almost having an opportunity there. Able to pick off a quick kill on a player run right past him, but a bit slow on the trigger, so the opportunity is not going to be taken. Maybe from Secret, though, is going to take a decent amount of damage, though. There on the factor ends up going down to about 50 HP after taking a small fight with one of the members of NIP.
A lot of these teams now favoring that rotate that you can make across the 90 hallway. From Fountain over into the back of CCTV room where all the bookshelves are, and he's doing his best army crawl right now. He's going to finally contest the bookshelves, but nothing going to come of it. He's actually going to hop in right to the back of Horseshoe, but doesn't matter. IQ Limbs there. Pick up Psycho and Muzi.
Now another member is going to fall in a moment here, too. See what I mean about these really decisive rounds going back and forth? This time it's Secret's turn, it seems, as they pick up 4 and now 5 kills. Not really much trouble, and all of it happening within the span of just a few seconds. Secret commit themselves to an execute. Don't even really need to get close to the site to finish it off. So they wipe the members of Liquid clean, or they wipe their opponents clean off the map. Members of NIP, excuse me, managed to take control of that round.
Team Secret has just been so dangerous this entire LAN. Again, they've got that chip on their shoulder from those Pro League relegations. They want to prove that they were supposed to be there, that all that stuff was just a fluke, and they're doing it right now. I mean, NIP has been on fire this entire tournament so far, at least today. We'll have to see how that expands over the weekend, but for right now, looks like Secret might have NIP's card.
It's going to make for really interesting final rounds of play. We mentioned this before. This is our 4th match we're showing on stream today. But due to some technical issues, we actually haven't started the 4th round of matches just yet. At that point, we're going to get into matches where there's no just continuing on at that point. You either qualify or get eliminated, or move yourself forward into the next round, round 4. And then we just end up with, just a few more games in round number 5 to round it all out, basically. It is going to be a decisive out or in play, basically, for round 4 onward here in this stage.
We are going to have an alibi picked up by Psycho for Ninjas in Pyjamas. Julio still on his usual Valkyrie here as the argument rotates across 90 once again. And the team's really favoring this now just because of that late rotate presence. I mean, you always have to be worried about somebody being able to rotate quickly directly behind you, especially when you're trying to get the wall open over on the Armory Locker's side or on the west balcony. So, always have to be aware of exactly what's happening inside that 90 hallway, especially now. But this alibi pickup here by Psycho, especially different to me for a couple of reasons. Number one, Alibi is a very unique character in a couple of terms. Number one, traditionally speaking, now they use a lot of her utility on site just to try and put them in regular pre-fire zones, just get some information and make Secret think about their pre-fires. You don't want to get pinged 5 times in quick succession. Anyways, building on from that. The issue with that is what is happening with this revolver.
Yeah, that revolver.
Yeah, that was something.
That was a self-reloading revolver.
Yeah,
that was really cool.
Yeah, but you usually have 2 things you can do with Alibi. You can either put them all on site, or you can try and get them around site just to throw Team Secret off if they go, oh, that's a guy, and shoot really quick. You get that initial information. It makes Team Secret think about what they're doing more. Is that a real Alibi? Is it not? You really don't know unless she is dead. So we'll see exactly how that fares here for Team Secret. We are going to have Muzi locked up over inside of CCTV.
Of course, we're still back upstairs again here. Both our teams trying to play into that. Once again, Secret looking to just take another round off of Armory here. Leon, he's going to be on his own, rolling along the outside balcony right now, playing on the windows primarily. Trying to see if he can find anyone early on. We're just checking for intel on anything, but it's going to be Psycho. It's on that alibi that picks the first frag here this time against Feral. Just outside, too, that is going to drop the diffuser for a moment. But Leon moves in, finds the trade. Can't make it two, though. Kamikaze too quick on the droll here by Fountain, and is going to be able to fire back. Muzi also picking up another one for himself, too, by knocking out Meatbee. And it seems, again, that execute from Secret is pretty much just decided by a coin flip at this point.
The teeter-totter continues as Fonkers will rotate up to the roof, see if he can possibly catch anybody on rotate, possibly on square. We'll have to see exactly where he tries to dedicate himself for this push, but he's got 4 members of NIP to cut down if he can possibly do that, but 2 of them pretty hurt as Kamikaze has barely any life left, and Muzi's not far behind him, but we do still have Psycho playing very close to his alibi. It's like they're almost twins for some reason, as Fonkers will be rotating, or excuse me, rappelling down to the west balcony here, seeing if he can possibly get any free frags. It doesn't appear that Ninjas in Pyjamas wants to give it to him.
Let's see here, we've got Fonkers still looking for an opportunity by the window. He might almost swings into that. Thankfully his opponent wasn't too wary at the half wall there. He was back a little bit more. Fonkers still going to try to watch his position here, obviously, as he moves himself forward, but anywhere he goes, he's going to be walking into a kill box, it seems. They've retreated from half wall. Got a player on the other side of the window. It's small off as Pina, who was playing the half wall, has gone further into the site, where he'll now be able to pick up a second kill in the round, the finalizing kill as well, to give another round for NIP.
Pino is absolutely surgical with his ulti right now. I mean, you can definitely lean on him to hold down the entire site all on his lonesome. He's been showing it this entire map so far, but seems like that adjustment with the alibi was actually good for Psycho. Found some more kills with that MX4 Storm. I mean, the rate of fire in the thing is so very dangerous in the proper hands. And here's that those proper hands are his. As we are going to be entering the rotation here, so we're going to have Team Secret now on defense and NIP on offense.
So off of that switch, this could have the possibility to change things up quite drastically, of course, given the seesaw nature the game is played. We might not be looking at something similar to that once the teams have switched sides. So we'll figure out how that ends up playing into this one. So now, we'll end up with, like we said before, NIP going on to the attack. Obviously, we're still going to be playing once again into R. We just can't get away from it. This time, it's going to be Secret defending it. Brought a little bit of a different flair to the table this time, at least to start off with. We'll see how that starts to evolve, of course, later on, maybe to change off players further into the half.
Very interested to see if this seesaw continues here between these two teams. Traditionally speaking, for rotation, it's really hard to kind of get back into that same mantra of just, okay, they went around, we went around, they went around,
yeah.
we went around. Usually someone breaks the mold at this very point in time. So we'll see if Secret can do it, or is NIP going to walk away on the offensive side. Multiple differences, obviously, between these two teams, but actually routinely the same setup. I mean, Evil Eye-wise, I don't believe that we have one on the 90 hallway, but they are going to set up the same one over here on the far wall in order to watch all of the balcony. But there's one difference here. Ninjas of Pyjamas is Twitch, who is very dangerous for those Evil Eyes now. As she can tase them, it opens up the shield to the eye. Just a tiny bit. She's able to tase through that and destroy the camera all on her own. So we'll see if that comes to fruition.
Obviously gives a little bit more power towards Twitch, which has been creeping up recently. After we've seen her basically be the preferred choice over Ash in a lot of circumstances now. Now that she had the ACOG removed, but I haven't seen it necessarily change, at least not none of that I've casted any game-breaking rounds or anything like that off the Switch just yet, so we'll see how useful it ends up being here in this.
Well, you know, we said that the ACOG was a pretty big impact on Ash, but even people like Joystick still picking up Ash just with the G36C and putting in absolute work with that ACOG on that weapon. So Leon's going to take quite a bit of damage. And by quite a bit, I mean he's down to about 2 HP here. So somebody could legitimately breathe on this man, and he is going to die. He's going to try and waste as much time as possible because he's basically a dead man walking at this point.
And off of that, of course. Besides this, NIP not moving into the building too quickly just yet, not moving into the warehouse itself. Still taking their time again on the south balcony. Just to make sure they're going to be clear before they move in. It's a good thing they've done this too, because if their droning is being done properly, we'll have definitely seen Secret has got a pretty aggressive hold onto that south door entry by CCTV. They're not going to want to just force themselves out. If they do that, it's an easy way to lose their entire player roster. So they've got to be really careful on how they approach control in general on the south side of the building. And there you go. There's a perfect example. Feral gets Muzi right into the trap and takes him out.
Secret very fast on offense, especially like what we said earlier with that intel. But right now, taking things slow and steady, and Nip has fallen right into that trap. So pick up Muzi. Initially, those ADSs now ringing true for Leon, as you hear those going off in the distance inside of CCTV. So, see what the adjustment's going to be here by Nip. They do have Pino downstairs, as we were talking about earlier. This buck is so very dangerous. Down here in the server room / break room area. Frag grenade going to come out, but it's not going to make any contact. As Leon is going to continue to play on the couches inside of break room, and Farrell's going to continue to do his thing as he'll take down Julio.
Just barely manages to take him out that time, though. Farrell's barely got any HP left, but Leon with 2 as well. Shutting it all out, leaves just Psycho in the fight now, 1v5. Not even in a window yet. Good spot, nearly gets the run out player too. Is not going to be able to make it happen, and ultimately falls to Farrell again. Nicely played by Secret. Again, it seems like it is going to continue with Secret pushing ahead now, 4-3. We're right back on the seesaw.
Right back on the seesaw, indeed. And big plays there by Farrell. And I think the biggest thing is that Leon played cool, calm, and collected. He literally just waited on that couch the entire time. Knew he shouldn't rotate. Somebody's probably going to be watching his cross, as they sure as hell knew how much damage they had down on that man. So he's still going to be able to find 2 frags, and that's the biggest thing. Again, you could have shot him once with any gun of the game, anything at all would have killed him. Even a stun grenade. You could throw a stun grenade at the man, he would die. And he was still able to find some success in the round, especially with Farrell as well. I mean, Farrell 3K, Leon 2K. What else could you want from your 2 roamers over inside of CCTV?
Yep, but now, same as we've been talking about before, it's about building on this. Don't let the seesaw back in your opposite direction here. Secret now need to look for the closeout following this. And the good news is, of course, they do manage to close out on this round relatively quickly on their defense. So at minimum, it's going to force playstyle change-ups from NIP, as obviously they'll be going for a different site this time, now that we're heading down to Workshop. So that alone might be enough to swing the advantage a little bit further towards Secret to allow them to kind of break this back and forth nature we've been in the entire map so far.
We're going to have a dock and mute picked up for the defense here. Leon is more than likely trying to mute some of those hatches or just pull some information away from Ninjas and Pyjamas. Yep, not really playing the information game last round. You saw a lot of angle holding, not too many people on drones, so we'll see if they try and change that up in any sense of the word. But right now, it appears that Team Secret might just be the better team on defense. But again, we have a very, very small sample size right now between these 2 teams. So we'll see if Nip can possibly keep this seesaw going.
At minimum, it's kind of showing us that these 2 teams sit, in the context of this LAN anyway, almost on even terms right now, right? Like they just both seem to match each other really well. And when they are beating each other, it's relatively decisive. Like it's really, really one-sided rounds for the most part. When a team is winning, they just can't keep it going consistently, because their opponent comes in with an immediate response in the next round, literally every single time so far. So once again, we've got the players from NIP up on balcony. Going to start moving in. Obviously, it'll be a little bit of a quicker process getting themselves into armory this time, since it's not the actual site, but they'll still have a little bit of trouble doing it. As you can see, one blue silhouette back there from Secret that's looking to hold against this.
Yeah, you have to be happy with those original IDK fans now. Team Secret, obviously, that have been ride or die with this team. Again, slumps happen with teams quite often. I mean, they did just get knocked out of Pro League, but for how good Nip has been playing today, and Team Secret is going blow for blow with them right now, I mean, you can't argue with that.
We'll see how well Nip's able to try to funnel themselves back into this game themselves. They're playing very slowly right now, definitely looking for that CCTV control, but same as the previous round. It's being pretty actively defended by the members of Team Secret, with 2 committed to it. And then, of course, you've got Farrell way back here with a nice angle against that doorway from offices.
Well, you don't see this too often. We have a holographic sight on the MP5 of Dog. It's usually an ACOG in that place. You don't see these too often with this weapon, but Farrell feeling comfortable with the 1X sights, but Pino's feeling a little bit more comfortable. He's going to be able to take down Fonkers over the map.
Pino finding the first. Secret losing their 5th player. Getting at this one against their Jaeger. Someone to be expected. The assumed, an assumed advanced position for the Jaeger there, so just getting caught out on the roam game. Besides that, NIP did take a little bit of damage. He's specifically gone down to just about 25 HP on the Nomad there. We're going to leave him a little bit more vulnerable for the rest of the fight. Leon's still trying to sit on the inside of supply here too and try to play off of that. He's going to be careful, of course, of the window hopping, but it seems the focus from NIP is entirely on upstairs right now.
Team Secret has a little bit of everyone everywhere right now.
No.
Air jab's going to come out, didn't hear it in time, so Pino's going to rotate back over to CCTV, hold that down from the window as he's waiting for the rotate. But only 40 seconds left on the clock. Nip have control, but they have to be able to get that diffuser down. Meepy's still alive downstairs as well. He has all those toxic babes lying in wait.
And this is going to be the one saving grace here. Again, this is another, so far, one-sided round in the favor of NIP. The same exact formula we've been in the entire game, but for Secret, they still got a chance to stop this, even with the man disadvantage, but it's not going to be easy, I will tell you that much. They've got a lot of power being thrown against them. Let's start, though, from Feral. He finds the first equalizer, but Psycho striking right back. He'll not Feral out. The jump out here from Leon, it works. Puts him right in the face of Julio. Problem is, that doesn't take him any further than that. Kamikaze will finish it off with the kill against Leon, followed by Meepy. As again, the seesaw keeps on rolling. We're now going to be 4-4.
Indeed, round and round we go here as events will be lost by Team Secret, but not for lack of trying. They had that initial rotate there by Leon inside of Stockroom as he hopped out the window. He got that initial frag, but eventually got cleaned up. A little bit scary there for Nip, though, as if any of those kills would have went the way of Team Secret, this round definitely could have fallen in their favor. But Nip, very good on their top take. I really like their slow execute up there, just only using the bare minimum of utility. Granted, they really didn't need to get the diffuser down in the end. I mean, 3v1. Yeah. Granted, they did not have much time left on the clock, but even if the Habana ended up losing that gunfight, they definitely could have rotated somebody down quickly enough to try and get that refrag.
Yeah, so now it kind of begs the question if we'll see the same site first one. Yes, we will. But it begs the question now if Secret try to pull back a little more, stop trying to play so aggressively upstairs to hold it. It seemed to be their only downfall in that last round. The actual fight on the site seemed relatively even between Secret and NIP. There's a good chance Secret would have been able to trade out had they not lost 2 out of 5 of their roster earlier on in the round due to playing the road game upstairs.
It's just the timing of calls, really. It's when does your IGO call everyone back to site? They didn't have the initial pick, obviously. They ended up having the Jaeger go downstairs over near detention. So he dies. Team Secret's trying to rally back and get their pick on Nip and try and equalize things, but it doesn't end up working out for them in the end. Got a little bit too overzealous and ended up losing the round for it.
So let's see now if Secret can once again keep this crazy ride rolling. They're going to look to pick up their 5th round, and if we follow the trend, they should be able to do it here. But of course, find out about that. The second is NIP is attempting the same site they just won for a second time. No sign of a change up on that from Secret. And of course, we've got another little difference here. The Montaigne, of course, coming in for NIP this time is going to change up the dynamic a little bit and probably prevent most of that roam game that we were seeing from Secret before. Overall, that it already seems like it's a much more kind of... Actually, no, it's looking pretty similar when you look at the lineup from them. They had pulled it back a bit more of what we were seeing in the early round, but it seems that's not the case.
The real question here for Team Secret is where is Leon? You're going to have him around to try and deal with Psycho. Montaign's just going to be able to apply free pressure. It's free real estate for him. He can just walk in. No one can really do anything to him unless you have an explosive or for some odd reason he drops that shield, which more than likely not going to happen. They're going to stack somebody on him, try and apply as much pressure as possible, and they're going to start right now inside of CCTV/break.
Kamikaze starts us off. Psycho trying to take a fight relatively early here on the Montaigne. He's got another player behind him, of course. It's going to be Pino watching his back. Psycho picking one up, however, picking a second one up on the Montaigne. Very well done. We'll see a trade come in from Secret to knock out Pino. That's going to put us into a 4v2 for NIP now. Still a minute and a half left on the clock, too, so they've got plenty of time to play this out.
Very smart switch up there by Nip. Recognizing now their top take was pretty slow. Granted, they did win the last round, but let's speed things up a little bit. Let's get something that we can just walk into sight for practically free, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Psycho going to continue to just bear down on top. The limbs up here on the Maestro, and again, as powerful that Alda is, it can't shoot through sheer metal, but you know what can? Backside is quite soft on Montaigne, as Meepy will be able to knock him down from downstairs, but a limbs will find Kamikaze. Things are starting to fall apart here for Ninjas and Pyjamas. Is Team Secret going to be able to rally here in round number 9?
Off the diffuser, still has a good position to play off of as well. Muzi goes down, and Julio's found the trade, so it's going to come down to a 1v1 at the end of the day here.
I don't believe that Elims knows that he has diffuser. Julio has to go get it. That's the only way they can possibly win this round besides getting this frag onto Elims. But again, that Alda, especially after he reloads it right now, 81 bullets. Very, very scary to try and deal with. He actually didn't complete the reload animation, so he's going to have to do it again. But Julio finally going to get that diffuser as he will begin to rotate downstairs. Now the real question is, how much information does Team Secret have? Because it's going to matter right now. 16 seconds left, only 3 seconds left on the plan. They get the ping. He's going to have to try and rotate through. Will he be able to find the kill? He knows exactly where he is, but that all does so dangerous in the proper hands. And Julio will go down.
Great round on point from Limbs right there. Really, the saving grace does it all on his own. It seemed like his team was falling apart at the seams, just like we saw in the last round there, due to not being able to hold on the upstairs row. But the exact opposite happened to Limbs. Ends up going absolutely crazy here, as you can see. Picks up, I think, 3 or 4 kills over the course of the round and single-handedly reverses his team's luck to push them ahead.
Ninjas and Pyjamas tried to get him to move. That's what they were trying to do with the Montang upstairs. They're going to rotate him through Archives, through Fountain, and try and put pressure on that Maestro to either overpeak or just lose his mind and start running somewhere. That's not what happened, though. Smoke, very heads-up play from downstairs, going to peek through the hatch and shooting the backside of Montang. Ends up downing him, making things very winnable for the Maestro upstairs.
There we go. We're moving into our next round in just a second, I believe. We'll take a look at what exactly Square's going to bring to the table this time. Any major change-ups? Well, we're going to ditch the Montang pretty quickly. That's going to get changed. I believe we're going to Sledge instead. And Sophie in the play. I don't know if we've had that in the previous round or not.
This is such a sheer amount of soft destruction right now by Ninjas and Pyjamas. Granted, it is going to be the downstairs site here for Nib, so more than likely going to stay. Oh, excuse me, this is on the left, I apologize. Just the arrows moving down for me off there for a second. But lots of soft destruction for a site that you can really only attack from underneath with blocks. So, I mean, you can obviously use Moose's impact to try and impact the floor from underneath, but having Sledge here, more than likely it's going to be for the LED5 and some frag grenades.
See how well his contributions end up working out.
Camera feed.
Leon just breaking open the window real quick to try and toss out an extra camera, see if he can get some intel. Probably going to be able to do at least a little bit of work on that one. Like hide the pole for a second or two, or they can need to just spot these players out. But again, it's an armory round, so in general, Nick should already, or excuse me, Team Secret should already have a pretty general idea about how NIP are going to play this. Not finding the initiation, but no, Leon jumps out a second time, and this time it's for a complete run out, and it works. Catches Psycho, he tries to trade it back, but it's not going to be Julio that gets it. Instead, it's Pino that finds Leon further into the building, taking him out and bringing us down to a 4v4.
Leon tries his best to rotate out, but he ends up getting caught out in the open over inside of Customs. But not going to matter too much for either of these teams. Even trades right now. No more grenades on the offense, all except for the Buck. So see if he's able to find anything on that Canadian operator here. Is again, Ninjas and Pyjamas, when they get initially picked, when they have one of their team members die first, they tend to slow down quite a bit. So we'll see if they do that exact same thing here. Pino trying to take gunfights from underneath. Gonna prep a grenade, but will it find its target? Doesn't look like it's gonna do much. It is going to put our grenade count down to 1. Is Secret looking to get ballsy right now as he's trying to contest this window. Is he going to hop out? He's got people on both sides of it. Doesn't have any impact to try and burst through that door, but doesn't seem like it's going to matter. He's going to try and hold this down as long as possible. So now he's getting bucked from underneath as well. And comfort in chaos right now for Feral.
This is again that possible overextension from Secret that could end up costing them here in CCTV, so they've got to be very careful about how Feral places himself. As you can see, he was ready to peek that window, get incredibly aggressive, but aggression hasn't really seemed to work too well for Secret on this defensive half so far. It's been more passive play. They've been able to more evenly trade and actually win rounds out against NIP. The aggression's cost them more than it's gained them.
This time waste right now by Team Secret is working out so very well. And again, Legion just gets better and better as an array of goo mines goes down from Feral. Under a minute left here on the clock. Ninjas and Pyjamas really doesn't have a footing on site either. They're going to have to try and go for a harsh execute. They do have Muzi and they do have Julio, so you can drop those EMP grenades, try and disable as many cameras as possible, try and get rid of some of these goo mines that could possibly be on site. But for right now, looks like the initial pick might go Feral's way, but it's not going to happen just yet. Julio going to bounce back and forth, but he isn't going to hop over half wall. Finally, a Limps will be able to find Julio.
So, Julio's trying to work his way into a good position to play off of here. Of course, Kamikaze breaking up the window, and they completely discount it, so he's going to be able to sneak in 1 kill for him. Muzi picking up 2 in the meanwhile, and now just like that, we're down to only 1 man left alive on the inside of the site. Could be a really easy plan over towards B inside of Archives right now if they want to go for it. It's Feral left alone. 10 seconds left, however. NIP's going to have to force the plan here in a moment, but apparently not. Kamikaze working his way in from the balcony, shuts it up for NIP. And again, this crazy ride just does not stop. We are going back and forth all the way up to 5 rounds now.
Well, it's like what you were talking about earlier. Team Secret's aggression has been punishing them, and it's gonna happen again. I mean, there's only 30 seconds left on the clock, guys. Why are you trying to hop outside and get these kills? You're man up. You don't need to do that. Just play sight. Try and hold down to what you own. They're not going to do that. They're going to try and lead it all on Feral. It's just not going to happen here at Team Secret.
Got to try and realize this sooner or later. Well, yes, they're staying in the game. You've got to be very careful because the same mistakes are being made time after time again. And as soon as the guys from NIP figure out how to consistently punish this, that could be potentially what wins them this map if they are able to use that to break the seesaw.
All right, as we will be jumping back into the action here. 5-5 is a scoreline if you guys are just joining us, and it's been an absolute teeter-totter back and forth all the way up to this point. Neither team able to string 2 rounds together. Somebody's got to break the mold, otherwise we're more than likely going to be ending up with an 8-7 here. But I think the real tell of the tape is that both of these teams showed up to play. I mean, both of these teams in the previous lands that they've been at in previous Pro League seasons just have not looked too hot recently. Both of them trying to battle back, trying to get this Raleigh bid. And right now, it's a very close contention.
A lot of teams here at this event that have kind of like been up there in the past in the pro scene and are now looking for another shot at it, either because they're coming from another region or they've recently lost a Pro League spot or something like that. A lot of redemption stories. You can even talk about that with like Rogue or something else as well too. A lot of teams that kind of fell off by the wayside, even if it's slightly, over the last few months. And this event's bringing them all to the same place to culminate. Only one spot. That's the thing. They don't have multiple spots on the line. Only one of them gets it. So you can tell the competition is going to get pretty rough once we get into our bracket playoff and finish it on Sunday.
All right. Well, here for Team Secret, looks like we're having a harsh office hold as 4 reinforcements are going to be dedicated over on that end of the map. We also have Leon over here inside of CCTV as he just gazes down in the stock room waiting for somebody to try and enter the window. Main thing here for NIP is try and speed things up just a little bit, especially when you have that pressure. It seems like when they get those initial frags, they're a little gun shy about trying to pick up the pace. Eliminate that. Try and pick up that pace. Bring it to Team Secret. Play your own game. Right now, you're kind of falling into the trap that is Team Secret. Team Secret ends up figuring out that if they just play on site instead of getting overly aggressive, especially in that last round, they're going to start winning these rounds and linking them together, and that's where it gets dangerous.
Secret's not in agreement with that, though. Once again, look, they got 2 players playing in the CCTV. I think there's a 3rd player off-site in Meepy, too. Meepy's in, I think, a position you would generally more expect, so we don't really fault him too much for that. But this extension over towards CCTV, again, has cost them time and time again. Now, to be fair, in the last round, Feral was able to use his aggression delay, but then was able to successfully fall back on site. So that didn't ultimately, mess them up too much, but they still lost more players later on due to other circumstances. They really have to hone down on the appropriate use of this aggression if they are going to continue to use it. Because right now, you can see again, they're slowly being squeezed out of CCTV, and they got to be very careful not to let that happen.
Yeah, but it's such a time waste. I mean, look at the clock.
True,
a minute, 10 seconds, and only one person on the defense is taking damage. It's pretty minuscule, if I do say so myself. Leon only down to 75 HP, so he's still good enough for a gunfight, but Nip's in the same boat right now. Losing, the opportunity to take damage, but they have to try and find some aggression here. Limbs holding the cross right now over into CCTV as Moosey's going to try and find him, but I don't believe he's going to find him in offices. He might try and walk in. That's exactly what's going to find him. Limbs with that Alda. We'll be able to take down Moosey. Continuing to hold down this site is the Maestro mains.
Yeah, pretty much exactly. As they've been able to completely destroy most of the more direct pushes we've seen. Of course, that Alda, we don't need to describe again just how powerful that gun tends to be in really all situations due to the bonuses it provides for defense. Feral patiently waiting. Should have had that kill dead to rights, but it's not the case. Fonkers is able to take out Pino in the meanwhile. So the trade against Elims further into the site. They dealt with the Maestro further in. Julio's also going to be able to take out Leon in the process of this too. Julio looking to try and once again switching over to the sidearm against Feral. Feral, yes, took out Kamikaze. Now it's down to the 2v1. Julio has to make an on-head play here, trying to push himself forward, but just wasting too many shots into the locker. Loses his chance. Vonker shuts it down, and Secret, once again, the no surprise, will push forward.
All right, match point finally. It's been a long time coming here as this map just continues to go on, but the initial thing here is that Nip trying to play the trade game a little bit too late. Kills going back and forth, but Team Secret already had the man advantage. Ends up getting punished for that in the end.
The aggression works appropriately that time. That's the big takeaway, right? They still end up losing those players ultimately, and it's kind of a close affair at the end of the day, but Secret still takes the round primarily because of how much time they wasted while the guys from NIP were looking to get CCTV control.
Yeah, Secret is not afraid to try and hold down a portion of the map and keep it away from NIP for as long as possible. They're going to force NIP to have to come in and dig them out of that hole. It's not going to come easy, not just, oh, hey guys, we're here. We want your room. Could you guys please leave? That's not going to happen. They're going to have to try and breach into this area and take map control from the palms of Team Secret. But right now, NIP doesn't have an answer for that. And it appears that they're going to have to try and go back to the Montang. Psycho is back on the mountain.
So we'll see how Secret responds to this. First of all, if they see it, are they going to continue to try to play heads up against it and go for these aggressive holds inside of CCTV, or are they finally going to start to fall? Well, obviously CCTV will still be used, just not to the largest degree. It's more going to be on Armory, I think, where that play is going to have to happen, since we have gone back downstairs now with a successful defense from Secret.
All right. We actually are going to be on Tellers this time around, which isn't a site that we see too often on Armory. But when you're done with Armory and you're on Border, when you're done with Armory and you're done with Vents, you have to go to one of the offsites. You either go to Customs or you go to Tellers. We've seen teams attempt both. Traditionally speaking, people usually have a better chance on Tellers, especially recently. Customs just has not been the play for a lot of teams. So we'll see if NIP has the answers here. Psycho definitely going to be on the forefront of this attack.
Loading mag!
Let's see for Secret. The site change-up is going to allow them to have a little bit better luck this time. Plays further back into the map compared to where we've seen NIP trying to push in the past, so maybe this change of scenery as well is going to cause NIP to be put into a situation where a little bit more unaware of kind of how they exactly want to approach this take. That might be what Secret's banking on here too, since we've basically just been going back and forth between Armory and Workshop for this entire map so far. Pretty much no deviation from that.
Well, if there was a time to break the mold for Team Secret, it's right now. And you almost feel bad for Psycho, because this time when he plays Montang, he plays into 2 Nitro cells, a smoke that could possibly have impacts, and Castle, who also has impacts. So that is just so much danger for Psycho, especially if he's going to try and get aggressive up here inside of offices.
He's got to back out of it. Backs into real quick.
Reload!
Nade from Pino, and it's not going to find much impact, if any at all. Take out a few wood chips or something like that. But Kamikaze, meanwhile, is preparing to pop open some of these walls. See Bonnet. There's the fallback to wrap back around, but that's going to give them good vision into one of the upstairs rooms they look to take control of. Leon, meanwhile, going for a crazy run out. A little bit mistimed, unfortunately. Doesn't manage to catch anyone from NIP down the hall.
He is not afraid, even on match point, to try and take these risky runouts. And here's that Secret is chosen to abandon ship upstairs and rotate things down into Customs, try and hold from across. But Leon going to continue to contest upstairs. Farrell will finally be down from Buck upstairs, but Kamikaze will confirm it as he has rotated down east. NIP, though, minute left on the clock, and they need to try and find some more footing. They do have the verticality, and Muzi's going to capitalize on it as he's going to take out Leon as well as a Limbs. It's all left up to Funkers and Meepy here. But 5 people still alive here on Ninjas in Pyjamas, and as we've seen before, it's really whichever team gets that initial pick is the one that wins the round, but it appears that Funkers is not going to go silently into round number 12 as Meepy tacks on, and all of a sudden things are equalized. Psycho going to try and take a gunshot here, and he's going to be able to confirm that, but no, it'll be Pino taking down Meepy. It's all left up to Funkers. No Nitro cell, but he just has an SMG-11 and that M59 that's been able to find so many kills today. On deck with him, and he will be able to take down Pino. It's going to be all left up in the Montang, but we need to see that plant go down. If he does not get here in time, winning a 1v1 against a Montang is one of the hardest things to do, especially with no explosives. He has to get this kill from above. Is he going to be able to confirm it? He fires through, but it's not going to be enough. This man's at 3 armor. He's going to be backed into a corner, and you're not going to be able to find that angle.
Already used the Nitro cell too, obviously, so that hope is gone and busted. Let's see how he attempts this regardless. Like we said, he's just going to sit in the corner. Here's the counter defuse. This will get him off shield. Nope, not this time. I don't think he's going to do it. I think he's just going to play into it. He'll wait till very late. Nope, he got him to drop shield. But it's just going to be a complete... It's going to be absolutely crazy here, as unfortunately, yeah, he'll just continue to play into that. Tries to force the issue close up, looking to crouch down on the ground. This is sometimes the best way to find the shot, but he's on the shotgun itself, and oh no! Psycho going for added insult to injury, gets the knife kill out at the end of regulation. You cannot stop the back and forth, as we're now locked at 6-6 going into OT.
Oh man, Montang is never fun to play against in a 1v1, especially in post-plant, because he just stands there and laughs at you. He's like, oh, you're going to try and trick me with the diffuser? I can see you.
He had the most unfortunate gun to try to do this like crouch, like this crouch V shoot thing with. If he had a rifle, there might have been a little bit more of, or a little bit less of a drawback time after doing the knife where he could have got that shot off, but the M590 is probably not the best gun to attempt that with, unfortunately, and then he gets knifed right at the end.
I mean, this teeter-totter is something fierce right now. 6-6 between Secret and Nip, and again, it just seems like whoever gets that initial pick, even if somebody fights back, ends up going to that team that gets that initial pick. We're actually going to have an L. I actually saw that on somebody's screen as we are jumping in here. I believe I said that. Actually, no, that was not going to be on offense here. Oh, no. I'm going to assume it was Muzi. I just saw the color there. So we are going to have Muzi on Zofia. No Ella on the defense just yet. And actually, speaking of Ella, we haven't seen too much of her today.
Not much at all, to be honest. But we also have like 12 or so off-screen games. Probably
so it's very true.
There's a very good possibility it's been snuck in a few times.
From what we've seen.
Off the screen, yeah.
ADS up and running.
Either way. So here's the weird thing, though, ultimately, especially since Secret's just staying on defense now that we go to OT. If this seesaw keeps going back and forth, Secret's going to win. Because it's just going to go to 8 for them first.
Exactly.
So this might explain why they haven't changed their playstyle too much, because they just like, I mean, well, we're still like the team that gets the point first.
We're kind of still winning, but just
like,
not winning.
We're just not winning really well.
Yeah, we're not winning really well. We're still going to win the game, possibly speaking, if we do the exact same thing. They're more or less putting all the weight on Nip's shoulders to try and break this.
Yeah. So we'll see if that ends up being the case. Again, same playstyle in the defensive setup, since we do have Armory unlocked. Again, I'm not sure if it would have unlocked regardless, but it's OT, so the sites get reset anyway. And it's that same aggressive push in the CCTV where you got 1 to 2 players holding on the inside of it. I think it's just Feral right now. Note they do have a second. The Jaeger's also inside of here too. So they're holding with 2 at the moment, as we kind of come to expect, and the rest of the players are all back on the site. So same business as usual here for Secret.
I'm very surprised that Nip has not tried to dedicate Pino downstairs and hold crosses inside of CCTV while he bucks from underneath to try and get them to move. They've done one or the other. That's it.
Yeah.
They haven't really blended that together to try and get this done. But so far, Team Secret's actually found quite a bit of success over here holding down CCTV. As you said, Nip kind of knows how to handle it. But again, they just kind of seem gun-shy on trying to get into this site, or excuse me, this room over here. As Psycho going to try and change his mind, as Ben is going to take a ton of damage. Funker's down to 1 HP. Leon right behind him.
Leon, though, having a clear angle. Should have been able to finish that off, but the damage will be good enough for now. A little over, or a little under half the time gone from the round. And Secret actually has done a pretty good job of denying any map presence here for NIP whatsoever. I really felt confident enough to push the CCTV as far as I can tell, and that Secret is still just running around, buzzing like bees across this map, trying to cause issues for NIP when they do eventually commit to the inside.
On defense, Team Secret pretty much knows exactly how Nip's going to be playing, but Julio, financial frag Muzi, will be able to tack on as Leon will go down as well. So it was both the injured personnel from Team Secret, so only full life bodies left for boys over on Secret, all except for Limbs as he will get taken down. Muzi finding that kill. Feral with 2 as he's trying to bring it back once again here. 90 hallway Meepy going to be able to find yet another. That'll be Psycho, and oh my goodness, these two just back and forth, even in the same round. And Feral going to add on once again. It's going to be all up to Muzi. That's the call. Rotate back, Feral. We don't need you to do any more work. We're going to try and hold down site. Meepy going to be playing over on the metal half walls. Feral's trying to hold things down over by Beepers, and he finds a final kill as well. As this teeter-totter once again continues to go back and forth.
Feral doing work, though, at the end there. Really good stuff from him. And really just kind of hiding in plain sight in CCTV the entire round. I don't know how they didn't realize he was in there when they were finally committing to their push, but he was able to just absolutely destroy the push, basically due to an unfortunate non-check from the members of NIP when they took CCTV and unleashed Feral, allowed him to pick up a massive number of kills at the end, and pretty much single-handedly turn the round on its heels for his team.
I love the amount of other pro players that we have behind Team Secret, as well as Nip, just watching this game intently, because it is so back and forth. I mean, we can hear them screaming right down below us. So this game definitely intense for these two teams, and this possibly could go 7-7 as we're trying to talk things through right now. As you guys can see the timer down there on the screen ticking down slowly. So we're going to be back in round pretty soon here.
as we do work to get into that, folks. Let's take a look, see if the streak can finally be broken, or if Team Secret's just going to ride the ride all the way to its conclusion here.
All right. Well,
at this rate, I'd be surprised if we didn't see Nip win this round. Well, let's find out.
Well, here's the thing. Secret is the only team to go to a site initially and win it first try.
True.
Every single time that Nip went to a site, they lost it, then won it the very next try. So if this continues on the same path, which as it seems between these two teams it has, this might end up being an 8-6 victory here for Secret. But again, we have an entire round to go through this, and as we've seen, both of these teams are fighters, not scared to get aggressive on really any man count. It doesn't really matter to them. I mean, 2v5 out, fine, we'll try and get a 3K. I mean, especially coming out of Feral, his Legion play has been on point today.
The amount of, like, actual and almost 2vx's that we've seen, specifically from Secret in the last, like, 5 rounds.
Exactly.
It's pretty crazy. Like, it's almost, they're almost, like, staying in this seesaw primarily just about like single-person plays or just single individual plays coming out of this one. We had, obviously, we had the last round where the Legion went, just went off and picked up 4 kills towards the end. We had a similar round with that, too, where another player was able to pick up 2-3 kills in a row and almost clutched it at the end.
Yeah, and it's a very weird thing, because usually when you get man count, it's like, okay, guys, let's slow things down a little bit. Let's set up people on flank drones, get some flank watch set up to where when they do try and rotate and make these big plays, we just get yet another kill. We keep tacking on and keep tacking on until eventually we win the round. It appears that that's not really the thing for either of these teams right now. They're like, oh, we got an initial kill. Let's just try and push site. Somebody flanks in behind, frags out everybody, and just walks away with a round.
This is the coach from NIP. You can see their guys in the bottom right of the screen. He's been pacing up and down the wild for pretty much the entire match so far. We have seen, though, once again, he's got reason to be nervous with the members of Secret picking up the first 2 kills. Not something, to be honest, that we've normally seen out of them on the attack here.
That's been the main difference between these two teams, is when they do get ahead, they do it big. They're watching these flanks, they're just letting Nip come to them, and it just continues to work out here as it's all left up to Kamikaze. We've seen some crazy plays on Smoke before here in this exact same spot from Young on EG. Is he going to be able to do it again? No, Leon, finally! They break the mold, they string together 2 rounds. It's Team Secret all the way here on board.
And they have reason to be happy, because now they've made it through. They're out here of the Swiss stage, and they will push themselves on into our actual bracket. Will start its play tomorrow. Big congratulations for Team Secret. Obviously, after their bit of unfortunate run in Pro League, which I think was the big conversation topic for them coming into this land, there were questions with how well this team was going to be able to perform, but coming out as one of the first teams to make it through into our bracket stage. Great stuff by them, and it is going to knock NIP down into another of our low matches, I believe.
Yeah, they are all into bringing themselves back to form here today. I mean, coming into this, everyone had a big question mark about Team Secret. How are they going to perform? Just got knocked out of PL again. Big downer. I mean, you're really down on yourself. Just got knocked out of Pro League, especially after finishing the previous season so high up on the charts. But it doesn't appear that they've lost any of that skill here, especially with how well Nip's been playing today. I mean, come on.
Yeah, certainly the case. So the thing is, like, NIP doesn't have too much of a reason to be worried just yet. They still have, relatively speaking, outclassed most of the competition they've gone up against. So unless they end up with a really difficult matchup for one of the next few rounds here, they're still in really good shape, too. They shouldn't be too upset about this result. They still went toe-to-toe with these guys on pretty much every single round. It was just that, to be honest, like, Secret was being really hard-headed with that aggressive strategy, and it was working 50-50, but because they had the 1-round advantage coming out of it, they weren't able to seesaw their way into a point where, like you talked about before, they got back on the attack in OT, and that was where their strength really came into full, because they were the only team to actually win a round on its first attempted attack.
It's always very strange when a map works out like this, where it's literally a teeter-totter, and you go, okay, well, you know, Nip, when they went to Armory the first time, they lost it. So if that happens, this game is basically a mirror. And that's exactly what happened on the latter half of the round. So I think the big takeaway for me for Nip here is that they need to make some better mid-round adjustments. I mean, there was a lot of times there where they had man advantage, but they wouldn't put anybody on flank watch. They might have had drones set up, but again, that's very hard for us to see, as you guys see with the spectator system. So, again, put somebody on flank watch, have them hold that down. Don't allow Feral to try and put Team Secret back in that game, or anybody back in the game.
Let's take a look at some of